Hi everyone, Jake here for FMSCOUT. Welcome to today's video where we'll be giving you 5 teams that you can rebuild in FM23 based on the real life results of this season. Now we're going to be sticking in Europe for this video and we'll be focusing on teams that haven't had the best of years and are going to need rebuilding. Whether that's you trying to replay this season and change the fortunes of what's happened to that club, or you can download a data update pack when the season is over that will accurately reflect where all the teams are, the divisions they're in. We'll be making a video about how you can get that in a few weeks time once the season's over, I'm sure. But yes, today 5 teams that you could potentially rebuild in FM23, all with great stories behind them. Before we get started, don't forget to smash the like button down below if you do enjoy. It only takes a few seconds and it helps us out. And comment down below what your next save is going to be in FM23. The first save from today's 5 that we'll be looking at was the highest recommendation from the last episode from the comments. So we are definitely looking at them. We are using them for these videos also to give you guys ideas. So drop them down below and who knows, maybe it will feature in the next one. But let's get started. The first team we're looking at is FC Nuremberg, a German team in the 2nd division of Germany who currently in real life they might end up being safe, but they are flirting with the chance of potentially being relegated into the 3rd tier. But even the 2nd tier is a far cry away from where this team was. Many years ago they were dominating the German divisions with 9 title wins, and your job will be to take over Nuremberg, obviously stop them getting relegated into the 3rd division of the Bundesliga, but also try and take this club into the 1st division and eventually to their 10th title. It's going to be hard work. The last time they were in the Bundesliga was in the 2018-19 season, but before that era they were kind of a staple of the 1st division for a long while. They're predicted to come 4th in the league, so hopefully it won't be too bad of a job to keep them up, unlike in real life where they're struggling quite a lot. But they're a historic club with a nice mix of talent within their first 11. Their squad isn't too old, it's got a lot of young players in it, a lot of German players as well, so you're going to try and build up from that core of players you've got, take them to the 1st division, keep them there, and eventually try and topple Bayern Munich's dominance at the top of the Bundesliga. Our next side is Malaga, a team that a lot of people have been rebuilding over the last few years of Football Manager, but things have got a lot worse for them recently. Currently, when you start a save at the start of this 2022 season, they'll be sitting in the 2nd division of Spain, predicted to come around mid-table, but it's not been like that for them in real life. Their relegation to the 3rd division of Spain has been confirmed in real life, and this team that only a decade or so ago was playing European football has now found themselves in the 3rd division. If you don't believe me, not only were they a regular staple of the top division in Spain over the last decade or so, they were actually at one point, where was it? Just here, look, in the 2011 season, literally just over 10 years ago, they finished 4th. Since then, you can just see every season getting worse and worse and worse, and now they found themselves relegated out of the Spanish 2nd division. Now, when you take over your save, of course, they'll be in the 2nd division, and you can try and prevent that from happening. Or, as mentioned earlier, once the season has been completed in a couple of weeks, we're going to show you a way that you can get a download that basically gives you accurate representations of which leagues teams are in, so you can start actually with Malaga in the 3rd division. But they've got a 30,000 capacity stadium, and the media have got us predicted mid-table, so it's clearly not a squad that should be getting relegated, but unfortunately, that's the way that it's gone down. Your job will be to try and change the fortunes of Malaga around when you take over as their manager. So that's 2 out of 5 teams that we've looked at now, but I just want to let you guys know before we continue that if you want to, after this video is over, you can check out my channel linked in the description. Over there, we've got some rebuild videos. There's one coming out soon with Sunderland, and there's going to be more to come in the next few weeks. But also, we have some YouTube shorts about Wonderkids you might not have heard of if you're interested in that. But any support over there will be massively appreciated. Let's get back to our rebuild teams. And it's Reading that we're looking at next, a side that find themselves in the Championship when you start your save. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case any longer in real life. They've been relegated to the 3rd division of England after points deductions and financial issues. The club is in a bad state and it needs fixing, and that is going to be your job. Obviously, the aim is to take Reading into the Premier League, but also go further than that and eventually win it and become the best side in England. Since the millennium, they have been a Premier League side on a few occasions, finishing 8th one year, then the next year getting relegated in 18th, and then about a decade or so ago, they got to the Premier League, finished 19th, were relegated, and haven't been back since, despite a third place finish in the Championship in 2016. A penalty shootout loss meant they didn't end up going up to the first division, and now they're finding themselves in the third division. It goes to show you how a few kicks of a football in a penalty shootout can completely change a club's fortunes. I'm sure a lot of Reading fans will be hoping this side can come straight back up into the Championship. We've seen it on many occasions where these clubs continue to plummet. So your job is to take over Reading, sort the financial issues out, and take that club back to the Premier League. For our fourth team, this is a fairly obvious one. We're staying in England, going to the Premier League for a team that most people will know. And this is a team that people rebuilt for years in FM before they got to the Premier League. It's Leeds United, of course, who currently in real life are in the relegation zone. Look, they might end up staying up on the last day of the season under Sam Allardyce, but it doesn't look too likely. It's been a very mixed year for them. Javi Garcia was manager. Now it's Big Sam. They also had, of course, Jesse Marsch at the start of the season. Their recruitment since they've came into the Premier League doesn't seem like it's been amazing. Obviously under Bielsa, they looked really good when they first came up, but then things haven't gone as well for them since then. They've got some players on high wages, some players that will think they are better than the Championship also, but the squad isn't the world's best. It's going to be a challenge to keep them up and then eventually try and win the Premier League with them, like they did back in 1992, and to finally win that Champions League where they were runners-up all them years ago. That'll be your aim with Leeds, but based on their real-life situation, I think they'd be a great team to try and rebuild. They've got some good young talent coming through as well. We've done a Wonderkid to superstar on Archie Gray before, and he can become a world-class player, but the team is going to need a revamp. It's going to need a rework. Like I say, in real life, they've had issues with managers. They've also had, I believe, wasn't it their director who's been there for years? Let me just find him. Where is he? Victor Orta, the director of football. I'm pretty sure he's no longer in the job in real life either. So there's work to be done with Leeds. If you're after a Premier League save, they could be a great choice. And finally, we're going to finish off with an Italian side by the name of SPAL, who you might recognise from being in the Serie A few years ago. If I go to their overview, you'll see they had a meteoric rise, winning the third division in Italy, and then straight away winning the second division also, going into Serie A and managing to survive for a few seasons, even getting a 13th place finish, but it's been a bit of a fall off. The same way that they rose so quickly into that first division, they are now falling. They're in the second division when you start your save, but in real life, they've been relegated to the third division of Italy. You can see they were predicted to come mid-table in the second division, but that hasn't been the case for them. They've ended up getting relegated, and they've got some decent players on their books. I mean, he's definitely not as good as he used to be, but you might recognise this man, Raja Nainggolan. If anyone played like FIFA 13, 14, 15, this man was one of the best midfielders that you could get when he was playing for Roma. But they are a side that you wouldn't expect to get relegated. At least me, without my full knowledge of Italian football, I was very, very surprised to see them dropping in the third division. In all honesty, I still thought they were a first division team, so to hear that they've fallen all the way to the third division, they're a club that'd be great fun to rebuild. The Italian division for years was dominated by Juventus, but things have changed over the last few seasons, with Inter, AC, and now Napoli winning the Serie A. So your job will be to take SPAL back to that top division, and this time you're going all the way for the Italian first division title. As a bonus, sixth team as well that you could potentially manage, Benevento are in a very similar situation, a club that were in the first division of Italy only a few years ago, got relegated into Serie B, and now have found themselves relegated all the way to the third division. Much like SPAL, they're a club that you could potentially rebuild, but there we go. That's the end of the Save Ideas video. If you have enjoyed, smash the like button, and remember to let us know down below which save you'll be doing next. It might feature in our next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.